You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your fears. But why does your own mind sometimes become your worst enemy? Why does it create anxiety where there is none? Why does it keep you trapped in the past or make you worry about the future, never letting you find peace in the present? Most people don't even notice how they spend their entire lives trapped in their own minds. They believe every thought, identify with every emotion, and think suffering is inevitable. But that's not true. The mind can and should be trained, like a muscle. And when you start to control it, instead of letting it control you, your life changes dramatically. In this video, we'll break down the key principles that will help you free yourself from anxiety, find clarity, and become the master of your mind. Ready? Then let's begin. Buddhist sages thousands of years ago compared our mind to a restless monkey, chaotically jumping from branch to branch. One moment it grabs onto an anxious memory from the past. A second later, it jumps to a worry about the future. Then it's distracted by a fleeting desire, and soon returns to old grudges. This monkey never sits still, and it is the source of our inner chaos and exhaustion. Physically, we may be resting, but mentally we are drained because our mind is always at work. We drink tea but don't taste it, because our thoughts are already planning tomorrow. We talk with loved ones, but in our heads we replay work conflicts. The body is here, but the mind is somewhere far away. And this is the main reason we feel lost and unhappy. So how do you tame this monkey? The first and most important step is to realize that you are not the monkey. You are the one observing it. Imagine your consciousness as a vast, clear sky. Your thoughts, emotions, and fears are just clouds drifting across that sky. They come and go. Sometimes they're dark and stormy, sometimes light and white. But whatever happens to the clouds, the sky always remains unchanged, clear, and calm. The problem begins when we identify ourselves with a cloud. We think we are that storm cloud of anger or anxiety. But as soon as you take a step back and simply observe, aha, here's a thought about failure, or here I feel irritation, you create distance. You stop being a slave to the thought and become its observer. That is the key to freedom. Your true self is not fleeting thoughts, but the space of awareness in which they appear. Our monkey mind almost never lives in the present. It's either digging into the past, which can't be changed, or worrying about the future, which hasn't come yet. In both cases, it steals from us the only thing that truly exists, the moment of here and now. Our whole life happens in this very second. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. When you are fully present in the moment, anxiety disappears. Why? Because in the very moment of now, there is almost never a real problem. Problems exist only in our thoughts about the past or future. Try it right now. Take one deep, conscious breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Now exhale slowly. In that second, while you were focused on your breath, where was your anxiety? It wasn't there. Bringing yourself back to the present moment is the simplest and most powerful way to calm the mind. Washing dishes? Focus on the feeling of warm water and the sound of the plates. Walking down the street? Feel your feet touching the ground. Happiness is not a destination in the future. It's the ability to be fully alive right now. Another reason for our suffering is the habit of clinging. We cling to people, to things, to status, to grudges, to our ideas of how things should be. We think that if we let something go, we'll lose part of ourselves. But Buddhism teaches the opposite. Attachment is the root of pain. Imagine you're holding a hot coal of resentment in your hand. Who suffers? Only you. But as soon as you open your hand, the pain goes away. Letting go is not weakness, but wisdom. It's understanding that everything in this world is constantly changing. Life is like a river. If you try to cling to a rock at the bottom, the current will only knock you off your feet. But if you trust the flow and let go of control, the river will carry you where you need to go. Stop clinging to the past, which is already gone. Stop holding on to expectations that only bring disappointment. Allow things, people, and emotions to freely come into your life and leave just as freely. True freedom lies in this lightness. All these principles seem simple, but how do you apply them in practice when your mind is used to old habits? That's what the main tool is for, meditation. And forget all the stereotypes. Meditation is not esotericism or religion. It's a simple and scientifically proven brain training, real fitness for the mind. Research shows that regular meditation literally changes the structure of the brain. Areas responsible for stress and fear shrink, while those linked to concentration, calm, and awareness grow stronger. How to start? It's easy. Find 5 minutes a day. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and simply observe your breathing. Inhale, exhale. Of course, your mind will wander, that's normal. The goal isn't to stop thoughts, but to gently and non-judgmentally bring your attention back to your breath every time you notice you've drifted. Each return is one rep in your mental gym. This simple practice creates a pause between an event and your reaction, allowing you to choose a wise response instead of an impulsive emotion. When you regularly practice observation, presence in the moment, and meditation, you start to reprogram your mind. You turn it from a weed-filled plot into a blooming garden. Every thought is a seed. You can keep watering seeds of anxiety, doubt, and criticism. Or you can consciously choose and cultivate seeds of gratitude, calm, and confidence. When a negative thought comes to mind, like, "I can't do anything right," don't fight it. Just notice it and ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful for me right now? You'll see that most of these thoughts are just old, automatic programs. Replace them consciously, "I'm learning, and with every attempt I get better." Gradually, your brain will get used to new, positive neural pathways. You'll stop dividing the world into black and white, good and bad, and start seeing every event as a lesson and an opportunity for growth. Now you know that your mind is not your master, but your tool. Anxiety, fear, and negativity are not who you are, but just old habits of consciousness that can and should be changed. But knowledge without practice is just information. Real transformation begins when you start to act. Start small. Today, try to sit in silence for 5 minutes. Catch at least one moment when your mind drags you into the past, and bring it back to the present. Notice at least one negative thought and don't believe it. You have a choice, to keep living on autopilot, trapped by your mind, or to become its master and the creator of your reality. Which path will you choose? Write in the comments which thought from this video was most valuable for you. And if you're ready to take control, write, "I am the master of my mind." Subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together.